Have you ever had someone question you or your beliefs? Doesn't it hurt when they don't believe you? It's the week before school starts, and as a 5-year-old, one has to know how to spell one's name, home address, phone number, and how to pick the perfect first day of school outfit. Oh yes, one more thing, the Pledge of Allegiance. My mother prepared me for it just like this. Now, my love, when the teacher asks you to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, tell them you can't do it for religious beliefs. And if they ask you why, tell them because we only pledge to God and not man. Growing up as a Jehovah Witness, I was constantly questioned and felt sorry for because we didn't celebrate birthdays or holidays. Today I'm going to share some of those experiences growing up in that faith. First, I'm going to share some information about some of their core beliefs. Then I'm going to walk you through some of my own personal struggles with my faith. And finally, how it still affects me today. The name Jehovah is believed to be God's name. It's pulled from Old Hebrew text. One of the biggest misconceptions about Jehovah's Witnesses is that they're not Christians. The Oxford Dictionary defines Christianity as any faith that follows the teachings of Jesus of Nazareth. So Jehovah's Witnesses are Christians. They believe that Jesus is their Savior and God's Son. Another interesting core belief is that they believe the body is the soul. So when we die, that's it. You don't go to heaven or hell. You also get to choose when you want to be baptized because it's seen more as a demonstration of your commitment to God versus an obligation. Another core belief that sets Jehovah's Witnesses apart is that they don't celebrate holidays. The reason for that is because they believe most of those holidays are rooted in some sort of paganism, which made growing up as a Jehovah's Witness really difficult at times because I did want to be like everyone else. But the church provided my family with so much stability, especially when my parents were separating. They were my community, my friends, my family when my mother worked long hours. And they brought us food when my sister was in the hospital. Now, I'm not trying to convert you. In fact, I'm going to share some of my own struggles as I got older. Let's start with school life. Now, I always like to describe it like this. You can't miss something you never had. Unfortunately, people love pointing things out when you're missing out, right? And I was constantly asked by other kids and adults, aren't you sad you don't get Christmas or birthday presents? How could I be sad about something I never experienced? And having to constantly defend yourself was so exhausting, especially for a 5-year-old. But I was really good at it. It made my mother so proud, which meant I made God proud. At 16, I started rebelling. And I say rebelling because I wasn't into smoking or drinking or partying. I used to fake homework assignments so I could stay home from the hall. And I started doing this because I realized I was no longer welcomed. And not that anyone said that to me, of course. I was really well liked. The adults thought I was well mannered, well behaved. I was a good kid. But the talks that they were giving at the hall about homosexuality being a sin made me really hate myself. I was gay, and once I realized that, I didn't want to tell anyone. I wanted to keep it in, especially not tell my mother. The last thing I wanted to do was disappoint her. See, I thought I could live with hating myself, but I couldn't bear the thought of that woman not loving me. But in the end, I told her, and she didn't disown me or kick me out. She was scared for me and sad for herself, but she loved me, which made me really lucky because I know other kids didn't have that same experience. Being a Jehovah's Witness, you could be disfellowshipped or kicked out of the church for several different reasons. Infidelity, premarital sex, homosexuality, pornography, the list goes on. But if I'm being honest, I would probably still be a Jehovah's Witness today if it wasn't for their stance on homosexuality. Because I still share some of their core beliefs. Being kind and generous with others, not being materialistic, and seeing the best in people, especially when they're at their worst. But I also know I'm not a mistake. I deserve to be loved and seen. And even though I might not want to be a Jehovah's Witness anymore, I'm forever grateful for the part they had in raising me. And if you can take anything from what I shared with you today, are these 3 things. 1, that you learn something new about an off-maligned faith. 2, that the only person entitled to question your beliefs is you, and you should question them. And 3, that no matter what your past is, you are not defined by that, but it did build you. And there's no shame in that. And if you can honor it, then you'll be more at peace with yourself.